if you ever made a website with the form, you may probably face some challenges with forms, with validation of the forms, with submitting of the forms, and the types of the forms as well, if you're using TypeScript. When I was developing the form craft, and especially the part with creation of the request for clients, I faced the challenge of actually making the form, validating itself and submitting itself, adding the loading state and all the stuff. But like, I didn't want to code the solution from the beginning, and I found quite a nice solution to handle that. But before that, I want to demonstrate how it works. So if I type in the title, I set the minimum string as 3 characters. As you may see, the message is being displayed right below the input. Same to description, it should be at least like 10 characters. And the button submit is disabled basically. And if I will try to upload anything, it will just display the label uploading. So this is this is how I handle the form. And the thing is behind it is so-called TanStack forms. So if you are not aware, TanStack is quite a good stack of very helpful tools for developers that are helping you to handle some of the useful stuff, such as like router, query, table, form, and all this stuff. On my project, I'm using currently the query, table, and form. I'm gonna talk about these 2, query and table, later on, maybe in the future, in the further videos. But regarding the form itself, it's very easy to use and very easy to install. So to install this, you just need to use the command npm install TanStack React Form. And to install this, I can actually show you, this is one of the components that is responsible for creation of the request for a user. And the form is pretty much easy. So I'm importing the several things actually. One of them is use form, and another one is Zod. Zod is the validator that you can reuse for your form to validate the data that user is trying to type in. It's quite simple. So I type in the form, which is, I type in the type, which is form values. Inside of the create request component, I have this guy. So use form is a hook that creates a TanStack form, and you may easily reuse this form to basically handle your form inside of your component. Inside of this hook, I pass these options such as default values. Inside of default values, I do like title, description, and attachments. And on submit, it does several actions. So one of them is submitting the form by sending the post request, and I'm currently showing my response for debugging purposes and showing also the toast. And after successful sending of the data, a router is pushing me back to the request. In case if there are any errors, it's just showing the error itself inside of the toast. Inside of the template, I am using just a regular form tag, HTML tag, inside of which I do like the on submit event listener, and once it happens, I just handle submit the form. And on handle submit, I basically run this method over here, right? And the way how the form is being built is quite simple. You just need to use the form that you created over here, which is the variable form from the use form hook. And fields are being created through this way. So you just put form.field, you mention the name of the input that you want to change, and you can add the validator. In my case, I use Zot Validator. It's quite a good tool that allows you to build very easily the validation by chaining the validators. So in my case, it should be string and the minimum length should be 3. And I also can pass the message if this certain validator is failing. And it also passes me the field that I can reuse in my form. So for example, for the title itself, I can put the name of the field and the value, and to update the value, I just put like field.handle change and I pass the value. It's quite simple. Similar thing comes to the description field, and to submit the form, you just use form.subscribe. Inside of form subscribe, there is a selector that basically returns you the can submit and is submitting. So basically these are 2 flags that you can use inside of your button that you will use to submit the form. So can submit is responsible for displaying that the form is correct and validated, and is submitting is basically is loading. Is submitting will be resolved once this promise on submit will be resolved. That's basically it. This is very simple how to handle any forms. Hopefully guys, it's gonna be helpful for you when you will build your next project.